This is Newshour with Julian Marshall, and unusually another Newshour presenter is with me in the studio, James Coomarasamy. And James, what brings you here?
Well, Julian, I'm here to report on a news story very close to home because after 51 years, the last 35 of them here at Newshour, this is your final day at the BBC. Now, throughout that long and distinguished career, your editorial and sartorial standards have never slipped. You've set the benchmark for presentation, been a fantastic and fantastically fun colleague, and a joy to listen. Yours has been quite simply the voice of Newshour. So, before we let you go, we thought we'd take a short trip down a Marshall memory lane, courtesy of the BBC archives and the foraging skills of our colleague Mike Innes. We begin in 1980. Jimmy Carter is in the White House. Margaret Thatcher is still a relative newcomer to Downing Street, and you are reporting on the actions of Winston Churchill's son-in-law in a country close to your heart that's in the process of changing from Rhodesia to Zimbabwe.
The British governor, Lord Soames, has given himself special powers to curb the party's political activities in certain parts of the country, and has also threatened to ban Mr Mugabe's party if the intimidation doesn't stop. Mr Mugabe, though, sees the governor's actions differently.
I think he's just swallowing the evidence.
Your exemplary reporting and your focus on Africa led you to become a presenter of, well, there was only one possible programme.
BBC World Service at 18:30 Greenwich Mean Time. This is Julian Marshall with Focus on Africa.
One of your occasional sparring partners was the Ugandan President Yoweri Museveni. Here you are speaking to him in 1993.
It's not our job to ban parties or to unban them. It is the job of the population. We are writing a constitution. It will be the population who will tell us what they want.
So the people of Uganda are going to get a chance at some stage to vote in a referendum on whether or not they would like multi-party politics in Uganda.
Precisely. Not at some stage. The date is set. It will be next year.
A move to Newshour was next, and the chance to cover some of the biggest stories in the world.
BBC World Service, this is Julian Marshall with a news special. Coming up, death and devastation in countries bordering the Indian Ocean as an earthquake off Indonesia triggers massive tidal waves as far away as India. We'll be hearing from our correspondents in the region and getting eyewitness accounts of the impact of those deadly walls of water.
As well as natural disasters, there were wars and the chance to speak on air to people caught up in them, including this BBC reporter in Baghdad.
So from where you are, Andrew, how does the city, goodness me, allowed it...
No, we're still on the air. Keep talking to me.
No, Andrew, you seem as if you took, if not a hit there, at least
we had
something quite close by.
There was a... I'll have to leave you now, I think, if that's all right. We're perfectly all right, though.
Your love of the people and the ethos of Bush House, the old home of the BBC World Service, was never clearer than when you, appropriately, presented the last edition of Newshour that was broadcast from there in 2012.
What I'll remember most is the warmth, conviviality and informality of this building where I've worked for 37 years and the dedication of my colleagues past and present. I'll miss Bush House terribly.
The studio and the programme's opening music may have changed, but your regular weekend presenting shifts on Newshour meant that yours was the steady, authoritative voice relaying some of the biggest stories of recent years.
Welcome to Newshour from the BBC World Service. I'm Julian Marshall. Today, the unprecedented air, sea and ground assault on Israel by Palestinian militants in Gaza. Civilians have been killed, soldiers kidnapped, and they're said to be fighting in about 20 locations. Israel's Prime Minister says it's war.
Some of your interviews have, perhaps thankfully, been lost in the BBC vaults, such as the time a brave producer got you to do a personal training session as a way to cover a story about obesity. But listeners know that you've always had a lightness of touch and a twinkle in your voice when the occasion demands.
Now, Elmo just loves to sing and dance and to make music with all his friends on Sesame Street.
And your encounter with Elmo the Muppet was one of those occasions.
I know that, Elmo, because I know that last year you and other Muppet characters actually made a video to show what a good idea music was.
Oh, it was a lot of fun. He plays the saxophone, and he taught Elmo all about music.
Now, Julian, you can never be accused of not getting to the bottom of every story.
So how many people skinny dipped? So why do you prefer not to wear clothes? You mean if you're nasty, you can't be nude? And are you on or off duty at the moment? I mean, are you nude or not?
Oh, I'm nude. I got my smile.
I can hear that.
Yes, radio can go places where television is too embarrassed to tread. And embarrassment is an emotion you claim to feel when you meet one of the many enthusiastic members of the Julian fan club on the other end of the line.
My name is Julian Marshall. I'm the one who's going to be asking you the questions. A different voice.
That Julian Marshall. I know that name.
Sorry?
I said I know that name of Julian Marshall.
Do you? From where?
From BBC. It's an honor to speak with you.
Ah, that's very kind of you to say so. I've gone as red as my microphone.
So, how will we ever replace you, Julian? Well, you road-tested one option not so long ago.
Let's just hear a first hello from the AI version of myself. Hello, AI Julian, can you hear me? Hello, real Julian. I'm AI Julian. How are you today? I'm here to steal your job. How do you think I sound? Well, that's pretty good.
The one and only Julian Marshall. Before we let the real Julian sign off, on behalf of all your colleagues, past and present, and listeners around the world, a heartfelt thank you for your many years behind the microphone and all the very best for the future, Julian. Newshour, the BBC World Service, will not be the same without you.
Jamie, many thanks. And I shall miss you and indeed all my colleagues, past and present, when I shortly walk out of the building in central London which houses our studios. And I shall also miss you, the listeners, who are at the heart of everything we do. For the past 35 years, Newshour has tried to tell you the truth about what's happening in the world, where the truth is being assaulted by misinformation and increasingly downright lies. So please keep listening. I'm sad to be stopping. I can't think of a better job. So for the very last time, that's it from this edition of Newshour. From me, Julian Marshall, and the rest of the team in London, goodbye.